And welcome into this edition of Series Talk. I'm David Peters from Florida State University, joined as always by my great friend and colleague, Marty Dempsey at UF. And today we've got Greg Durham from Creighton along as we're going to talk about esports. Yes, finally an opportunity to have a Series Talk to talk about something that happened in the series, that it was a competition and it happened this year. And just this past month, we had our esports championships featuring Rocket League launched by our esports task force. Marty's certainly excited for the success of our first esports event.
Absolutely. When we put together this task force back in September, won't lie, we had some really high expectations for them, and they exceeded every single one of those. I told them yesterday during a recent call, a celebration call, that this is really what makes the series great. When we're able to adapt, pivot, and really put on a tremendous event for hundreds of participants.
Well, and 220 participants in all across 102 teams and 5 divisions. So great numbers here in our first year, right, Greg?
Yeah, the numbers, we were incredible. I can't talk to you guys enough about how excited we were about those numbers. What makes me most excited about that is that we saw schools that are not mainstays in the series really come out and participate. We had schools from Canada, we had colleges, we had some HBCUs really get engaged in this tournament. Some of those champions we saw are schools that we may not be familiar with in some of our other series events.
Well, one of the things I was reading, Greg, was about this event that we put on being rank capped. And it confused me a little bit, but from what I understand, that places it in a special part of the esports spectrum, from the casual user to the competitor on ESPN. How is Nurse's event really helping out collegiate rec sports?
Yeah, it's really creating a space for some of those recreational players who love the game, but may not be able to compete at the highest level that space offers. So when we had the idea of creating a rank capped tournament, we were really looking to create that space for the average gamers, the intramural participants, the club participants. We weren't looking to go after the varsity players, the players that are playing at the highest level, because they already have that space. They already have that competition ready for them.
Let's talk a little bit about the team that you put together and put on this event. You know, we talk about the Nurse events and all of the work leading up to it, but they had such hard work to do virtually across the 3 days. You managed over 2,000 messages via Discord and 60 reschedules. I mean, that is unheard of within the championship series, but you did that for the participant experience. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, as we were building the tournament, we really wanted to make it accessible. That was one of our themes for the tournament. And for this event was that we wanted students from all over the country to be able to play and to be able to play a seamless opportunity, a seamless tournament. So we had 5 time zones that we were trying to schedule games around. You think about our traditional in-person events and we're all in one location. We're not fighting with time zones. We're not fighting with class schedules. So when we rolled out that first schedule, we learned very quickly that classes on evening classes and Friday classes were a real thing, something that's been new as a result of the pandemic. So we had that Discord that we had set up for our community. And that was exciting to see community get built in that. We had schools scrimmaging each other before the tournament started, hyping one another up, getting each other, introducing each other and really starting to meet each other. Kind of like what those socials used to look like at some of our events. But our staff, they were incredible. They really, they got into the trenches with us and they helped reschedule some of those games to reduce those forfeits because everyone wanted to play and no one wants to see forfeits.
Greg, we certainly had a great group of task force members you've been working with all year to pull this event together, but we also had some Shoutcasters that helped us in commentating 24 hours of coverage on Twitch throughout the weekend. Just an amazing amount of content that, well, you can still watch right now.
Man, the Shoutcasters are, I think, the thing that our committee is most excited about. We had a meeting yesterday and we talked about the pros and the cons, and unanimously the Shoutcasters, what we were so excited about. Shout out to Zach from Arizona State for building that team. We had some students who first opportunity to really get to learn and get involved in NERSA, and they did a great job. I know there's some clips and some videos that are still available on Twitch. Please check those out. The feedback we got from our Shoutcasters, from our student participants, was incredible. Everyone was just so excited about the Shoutcasters, and I think they did a tremendous job. What stuck out to me about our Shoutcasters, honestly, is that it was some of their first times ever having to do this or ever getting to do this. So we had some returning talent and we had some new talent really had an opportunity to get engaged in that.
Well, let's take a look at some of that talent, both from our Shoutcasters and from our players, with this highlight from the tournament.
Lumi trying to come back with 13 seconds left, low on boost though, has to get something and recover, get back on defense because Laser's attacking once more. 5 seconds left as Lumi gets a little bit of a touch, and Laser can't keep it off. He keeps it off with the last second. Laser got it off the ground just enough to find it over the net.
I thought we were going to get overtime on that one, but
Wow, I've seen that highlights now several times, and it just gets, I don't even play games, and that gets me pumped up. You can see that and over 50 different highlights via the Twitch channel. So exciting. Please make sure you check that out. But, one of the really exciting things from this tournament was our continued partnership with our unified division. Several teams participating from that. I know we've had some talks with Scott George, the leader of that organization as well. Greg, can you talk a little bit about how important it was to involve Unified?
Yeah, I mean, what is a national NERSA event without our unified partners, with our Special Olympics partners? So I just want to echo what Marty said. Scott George was pivotal in helping us get our unified partners engaged. We had a division just for them, and our partners and our athletes had a blast. We are so appreciative of them getting their feet wet in esports, and talking to Scott, it sounds like esports is something they're also fascinated by and wanting to continue their engagement in. So as we continue to work on these esports initiatives, it is my hope and dream that our Special Olympics and unified partners continue to be engaged in those conversations.
Well, congratulations to our unified champion this year, the University of Delaware. Other champions in this year's esports championships include the Rec 1v1 League, won by Texas A&M International. The Comp 1v1 League was won by University of California, Merced. Rec 3v3 by Oakland University, and the competitive division in 3v3 by the University of Central Florida. Congratulations to all of those champions. And a special thanks, of course, to everyone who worked on this year's event.
We really hope that this is the start of the journey of esports, not the end of it. This is really the start of something special. We look forward to the planning of what that could become. And, for all of you esports enthusiasts out there, you'll see more as the summer and fall semesters come about. So,
hey, Greg, thanks for joining us today. And thanks for the work that your entire team did to get this year's championships together.
Thank you all for having me.
Hey, you can catch highlights and streams from all weekend online at twitch.tv/NERSA Esports. That'll do it for this edition of Series Talk. For Marty Dempsey, I'm Dave Peters. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. This is a production of NERSA, Leaders in Collegiate Recreation.